What you're about to hear isn't for everyone, and maybe it shouldn't be, because the truth is simple but brutal. While you've been waiting for a sign, the universe chose you a long time ago, and the reason everything in your life feels stuck is that you haven't owned that yet. Yes, the change you've been chasing isn't out there. It's in the moment you decide to stop begging for permission to be who you came here to be. Most people don't have the courage to face that, and that's why they stay trapped on autopilot with their subconscious mind sabotaging everything. But if you stay here with me, you'll understand how to raise your vibration, reprogram your mind, and collapse the reality you've always known you deserved. You didn't land here by accident. There's something bigger moving behind the scenes of your life, and now is the moment it begins to reveal itself. When everything feels like noise and distraction, certain messages arrive like arrows straight to the heart. This video is one of those messages. The universe brought you here because your vibrational frequency called for it. There's a huge difference between living on autopilot and living with intention. While some spend their lives trying to fit into a system that was never built for them, others wake up and start collapsing reality from their own consciousness. This shift doesn't happen by magic, but through an internal timeline jump. A turning point where the subconscious mind begins to reorganize. And that's when everything transforms. If you feel that something greater is calling you, a sense that there's more, even if you can't explain it, this content was made for you. Today, you'll understand how to reprogram your mind, raise your vibration, and live in full energetic alignment. You'll see why your self-image defines what you manifest, and how to use that to attract abundance naturally. But pay attention, this is not a regular video. It's a calling, and it starts now. Have you ever wondered why? Even though you work so hard, it feels like something invisible keeps pulling you back? As if there's a subtle barrier stopping you from going further, no matter how much you try. This isn't bad luck. It's programming. Since you were born, you've been shaped by words, gestures, and silences. Everything you've heard, "This isn't for you," "Money is hard," "You dream too big," has been recorded directly into your subconscious mind. The problem is, this programming has become the autopilot of your life. You wake up, work, dream, but act according to a script you didn't even write. It affects your vibrational frequency, interferes with your energetic field, and blocks the quantum manifestation you deeply desire. And you don't always notice, because the script was inserted too early. I remember once, as a child, saying I wanted to live abroad. The answer? You dream too big. That stuck. I grew up believing my dreams were exaggerations, that I needed to settle. Years later, even with an opportunity in my hands to make that change, I froze. It was the internal programming sabotaging my timeline jump, and that's how life keeps repeating itself. You enter cycles that seem different but are always variations of the same pattern. Then you wonder why you're stagnant, why your reality doesn't change. But how could it change if your mind keeps replaying the same story day after day? You need to reprogram your mind to make space for a new identity. You know how? When you update your phone system, everything starts working more smoothly? It's the same with your mind. Except instead of clicking a button, you need to make conscious choices. Question the thoughts that seem like absolute truths. Who said you don't deserve to prosper? Who decided that love, health, and abundance aren't for you? This energy of worthiness needs to be reclaimed, and it doesn't come from the outside. It's not about achieving something to feel worthy. It's about remembering that you already are, that your self-image is distorted by layers of fear, guilt, and shame that aren't even yours. When you start clearing those layers, something magical happens. Your vibration rises, and with a high vibration, you access new frequencies. You begin to attract abundance effortlessly because you start recognizing yourself as part of the flow. You stop resisting what the universe wants to give you, and that changes everything. The law of attraction responds to your essence, not your effort. But first, you need to clear out the noise of old programming. A great exercise to start with is to write, "What did I hear in my childhood that still limits me today?" Put it all on paper. Read it out loud. Then ask yourself, is this really true? Or is it just a belief I accepted without questioning? This simple practice can create cracks in the wall of your inner prison, and light starts pouring through them. Another way to reprogram is through conscious repetition. Positive affirmations do work, but not mechanically. You need to feel them, to enter a state of coherence between mind and heart. Saying, "I deserve a full life," only works if you're willing to let go and receive, to trust the universe as your ally. And here's an important point. None of this is about instant magic. It's about energetic alignment. Quantum manifestation is the reflection of what you vibrate. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So, changing your internal identity is the first step to collapsing the reality you want to see in the outer world. Start small. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "this is impossible" with "I haven't found the right way yet." This change in language already shifts your frequency. And little by little, your subconscious mind starts receiving new instructions. This is how you plant the code for reality change. And don't beat yourself up for still falling into old patterns. That's part of it. The important thing is to notice. Every time you catch yourself reacting the old way and choose to act differently, you change the track. You start a new neural pathway, and repeating this pathway creates a new internal program. And that, my friend, is liberating. Little by little, you stop being controlled by the old mind and start living from a new point of origin. Your essence, the one that always knew what was possible but was silenced by the fears of others. And when that essence awakens, a turning point comes that has no way back. If this content has already brought you some clarity, imagine what's coming next. Take the chance and subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications. This isn't just so you won't miss anything. It's so you can keep this frequency alive inside you. Shall we keep going? Have you ever stopped to notice that life is constantly trying to talk to you? Yes, reality speaks, but it doesn't use words. It uses symbols, repetitions, unlikely encounters, sensations you feel for no reason. And the most curious part? It responds, precisely, to your vibrational frequency. It's like a mirror reflecting what you silently transmit. When you start noticing this, everything changes. Nothing feels random anymore. That line that irritated you, the delay that made you change your route, the person who, out of nowhere, brought the answer you needed. All of that is quantum manifestation in action, your subconscious mind organizing the world around you without you realizing it. Like magic, but it's science. It's as if you were a radio station emitting invisible signals. These signals are your emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. When these signals are in coherence, the universe understands them clearly, and it responds. But if you're transmitting fear, scarcity, and doubt, guess what comes back? More situations that confirm them. Reality doesn't judge. It simply reflects. Once, during a difficult phase, everything seemed stuck. I'd wake up already in survival mode. My focus was just on paying the bills. And guess what? More bills, more unexpected expenses, more scarcity. Until I paused and realized I was communicating with the energetic field from a place of fear, and the field was responding exactly to that. That's when I started noticing the small signs, the coincidences, the synchronicities, the strange gut feelings. It was my own energy trying to get my attention. A practical example. If every time you think about changing your life something goes wrong, maybe life is showing you that your internal programming is misaligned with that change. And this is where the timeline jump comes in. When you consciously choose to change your frequency, even if nothing external has changed yet, you begin aligning with another version of reality. This is real, and it has a basis in quantum physics. Infinite possibilities collapse according to your vibration. But be careful. Don't confuse a sign with superstition. The universe isn't testing you. It's talking to you. If you feel discomfort every time you enter a certain place, listen to it. It's your vibration recognizing something out of alignment there. If you feel peace when speaking to someone, that's a sign too. It's the field responding to your energetic alignment. Want a practical way to train this listening? Write down daily what stood out to you the most. A number that kept repeating, a name that came up several times, a thought that wouldn't leave your mind. That's all communication. You'll start noticing patterns and, over time, understanding the silent language of reality. Another powerful exercise is the open question. When you wake up, mentally ask, what does life want to show me today? And observe. It may sound simple, but your energetic field starts responding. You begin living with more presence, more connection, and this simple change in posture almost instantly raises your vibration. This observation process also reprograms your subconscious mind. By recognizing the signs and acting in alignment with them, you send new internal instructions. It's like saying, I'm ready to listen, and the universe understands that as an invitation to give you more abundance, more clarity, more synchronicity. Reality shapes itself to your inner state. When you release control and start trusting the universe, things flow in surprising ways. And it's not because everything was solved. It's because you aligned yourself. You stopped fighting the flow and started surfing the right wave. That, my friend, is living in a state of conscious manifestation. And the more you develop this listening, the more refined it becomes. You start to feel in your body when something is a yes or a no. And this feeling isn't superstition, it's quantum intelligence. It's your self-image strengthening, your sense of worthiness blooming, your life saying, now, yes, we're in this journey together. So, if reality has been talking to you and you still don't understand the language, relax. The good news is that you've already started hearing it. And from here on, the messages will become clearer and clearer. There's a moment in life you never forget. One of those days when something inside you shifts without warning. Nothing external seems to have happened, but inside, it's as if the world has been turned upside down. You feel, without being able to explain, that you're standing at the threshold of a new timeline. That's when quantum manifestation truly started to make sense to me. I remember that day vividly. I woke up like any other morning, but with a strange sensation, a mix of emptiness and possibility. It was as if something was about to happen, even with no concrete signs. At the time, I was completely disconnected. My subconscious mind full of self-sabotage, my vibrational frequency at rock bottom, and I kept telling myself that life was hard. But that day, something made me stop. It was a snap, a pattern break. I remembered an old conversation where someone told me, you don't have to wait for life to force you to change. And that's when I understood. If I wanted a new result, I had to reprogram my mind. I had a flash of awareness. The external reality was reflecting exactly who I believed myself to be internally. It was like looking in the mirror and finally realizing, I'm the one creating all of this. Not in a sense of blame, but in a sense of power. It was the first time I felt what it meant to collapse reality from the inside out. The identity shift began right there, not with major achievements, but with the quiet decision to raise my vibration every single day. In the process, I realized that reprogramming the subconscious mind requires repetition, but also intention. I started replacing I can't with how can I? It sounds simple, but it changes everything. The brain starts searching for different answers. High vibration starts to become natural, and the energetic field responds with unexpected situations. One of them really stuck with me. A phone call I had been waiting for months came on the very same day I meditated for the first time with the sole focus of letting go and receiving. No pressure, no anxiety. I just let go, and I received. The synchronicity was so perfect that I understood. The universe doesn't work by the logic of effort, but by the logic of frequency. That day became a turning point. It was the start of my timeline jump. Life didn't change overnight, but I did. And that made all the difference. The same problems would come, but now I was a different person facing them. I responded with more presence, more energetic alignment, more trust. I began practicing small manifestation techniques, morning visualization, feeling as if I already had it, writing intentions with clarity. Nothing too complex, but with depth. The secret wasn't the ritual, it was the feeling. When emotion matches intention, the universe listens, and it responds with a new reality. Another important detail, I started guarding my self-image. Before, I saw myself as someone trying. Now, I began to see myself as someone capable. That changes everything, because the world treats you the way you treat yourself. My sense of worthiness was born that day, and with it, opportunities began to show up. This shift wasn't about control, It was about surrender. I let go of expectations, let go of the idea that I had to earn it, and started trusting the universe for real. It gave me lightness. It gave me direction. And it showed me that life delivers when you are aligned with who you want to be. But to flip the switch, you have to stop looking at your current reality as an obstacle. It's simply the reflection of your internal programming. Start there. The jump happens when you accept that it's possible to live differently, even if nothing outside has changed yet. You must be before you have. And the most incredible part is that after that point, everything started to click. The loose pieces of my story began to make sense. And for the first time, I realized that every challenge had prepared me for this new cycle. Have you ever stopped to think that the reality you're living today isn't the only one possible? Right now, there's an almost infinite number of timelines available. And the only thing keeping you from accessing a new one is the way you identify yourself. This choice is happening all the time, even if you're not conscious of it. And this is exactly where the game of reality shifting begins. The first thing you need to understand is that you don't choose with words. You choose with vibrational frequency. It's the energy you hold when no one is watching that determines which reality you'll align with. It may sound a bit ethereal, but think about it. Have you noticed how some days everything flows and other days nothing moves? That's not random. It's vibrational coherence. To shift realities, the first step is to notice which one you're feeding right now. It's like a radio. You can't hear a new station if you keep tuning into the same frequency as always. Your internal programming needs to change. That includes what you believe, what you feel, and how you see yourself. Identity shift is the bridge between what is and what can be. Choosing a new reality starts with deciding who you want to be inside it. It's no use wanting a new job, more money, or a healthy relationship if you still see yourself as someone who has bad luck or is blocked. Self-image is the source code of quantum manifestation, and you can reprogram your mind to run a new code, one that's more aligned with your truth. A practical way to do this is through the embodied visualization exercise. Pick a moment in your day, close your eyes, and see yourself living the new reality with as much detail as possible. Feel the emotions, the smells, the environment. But here's the secret. Don't see it as your future self. See it as you now, because now is when the timeline jump happens. Another powerful practice is to literally write your new identity. Take pen and paper and answer, how does the version of you who already lives this reality think, act, and feel? Then, every day, take at least one action that aligns with that description. Simple but deep. Energetic alignment isn't just about meditating. It's about acting in coherence with what you say you want. Here's a critical point. Let go and receive. If you keep trying to force things, it means you don't believe you're worthy. Worthiness energy is silent but powerful. It tells the energetic field, I trust. And trusting the universe is one of the most revolutionary decisions you can make, because it changes the way you move through the world. Another key is understanding that you can't change reality by trying to run away from the current one. You don't attract abundance by rejecting scarcity. You attract it when scarcity stops defining you. That's vibrational elevation. Stop resisting, start observing. And the moment you let go of the fight, something new begins to open. Quantum manifestation needs space, and attachment takes up a lot of space. If you truly want to collapse a new reality, you need to learn to say no to what no longer represents you. People, habits, thoughts, even old dreams. Reality shifting requires mental and energetic space. If you don't clear the ground, nothing new will grow. Reprogramming your mind isn't just about thinking positively. It's about making firm choices. But don't get me wrong, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about choosing every single day to be a little more of the version you want to live as. This creates vibrational coherence. And when there's coherence, the shift happens naturally. Life starts aligning almost effortlessly, as if it was just waiting for that internal decision to move. And here's the curious thing. When you change inside, reality doesn't look drastically different at first. But what once seemed like a problem now feels like an invitation. That's when you realize that everything is in your favor, even the challenges. Because now you're no longer a hostage to reality, you're its creator. And it's exactly at this point that true freedom is born. The kind that prepares you to live with authenticity, presence, and depth. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to lose yourself in the demands of the world? Sometimes we get so busy trying to fit in, please, and go with the flow, that we don't even realize how far we've drifted from our own essence. Living with presence, depth, and authenticity isn't automatic. It's a daily and often courageous choice. Being present isn't just about being physically somewhere. It's about being fully there, mind, body, and spirit aligned in that moment. And you know what steals that presence the most? Too much future. The anxiety of trying to control what hasn't even happened yet blocks your vibrational frequency. And without a clear frequency, no quantum manifestation will work. Living with depth means moving beyond the surface. It's stopping the constant reactivity and starting to ask, what is this trying to show me? When you choose depth, you access information that was hidden before. That's when your subconscious mind starts to open. And that opening is the starting point for reprogramming your mind and accessing a new internal script. Authenticity, in turn, is the most direct path to energetic alignment. But it requires letting go. Because living authentically can mean disappointing some people. It can mean saying no to opportunities that look good but aren't right for you. The good news? When you stay true to who you are, your elevated vibration makes the universe conspire in your favor. This choice for a more aligned life isn't made just once. It needs to be renewed constantly. In every conversation, every decision, every small action of the day. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. It's like your new identity begins to settle in, and then reality shifts. One secret here is to listen to your body. It always knows when something is out of alignment. A heaviness in the chest, discomfort, sudden fatigue. All of that is your energetic field saying, hey, this isn't the place. Learning to read these signals is essential to raising your vibration and keeping coherence between what you feel, think, and do. Another key point is silence. That's where your vibrational frequency recalibrates. The world is too noisy. Sometimes you need to pause, close your eyes, and just breathe. Feel. Listen to what life wants to tell you. And sometimes, what it wants to show you is exactly the version of yourself you've been avoiding. The one who already lives with depth. The most liberating part? When you begin to live with presence and authenticity, you attract abundance in a completely new way. Not the forced kind, full of strain, but the abundance that comes from a place of worthiness, surrender, and the balance of letting go and receiving. From trusting the universe lightly, without trying to control everything. Little by little, you become a new person, not because you forced it, but because you stopped resisting who you already were. The identity shift happens gently. It's like taking off layers of clothing that never really fit. What's left is a truer you, far more powerful in collapsing the reality you want to live. Living this way also connects you with others who are choosing the same path. Your elevated vibration attracts more conscious connections, and then your energetic field expands. An invisible network of support, synchronicities, and meaningful encounters begins to form. Reality becomes more alive, more fluid, more yours. This choice to live with depth also changes how you see challenges. They stop being enemies and become teachers. Every difficulty becomes a doorway into deeper levels of yourself. And the deeper you go, the more aware you become of your own strength. That gives you an inner confidence no one can take away. And so, without rushing, you begin to realize that this choice, to live with presence, depth, and authenticity, is the most direct path to something many seek but few find: inner peace. And that peace isn't the end, it's the beginning of a new way of living, where the outer world faithfully reflects the inner one. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to lose yourself in the demands of the world? Sometimes we get so busy trying to fit in, please, and go with the flow, that we don't even realize how far we've drifted from our own essence. Living with presence, depth, and authenticity isn't automatic. It's a daily and often courageous choice. Being present isn't just about being physically somewhere. It's about being fully there, mind, body, and spirit aligned in that moment. And you know what steals that presence the most? Too much future. The anxiety of trying to control what hasn't even happened yet blocks your vibrational frequency. And without a clear frequency, no quantum manifestation will work. Living with depth means moving beyond the surface. It's stopping the constant reactivity and starting to ask, what is this trying to show me? When you choose depth, you access information that was hidden before. That's when your subconscious mind starts to open. And that opening is the starting point for reprogramming your mind and accessing a new internal script. Authenticity, in turn, is the most direct path to energetic alignment. But it requires letting go. Because living authentically can mean disappointing some people. Can mean saying no to opportunities that look good but aren't right for you. The good news? When you stay true to who you are, your elevated vibration makes the universe conspire in your favor. This choice for a more aligned life isn't made just once. It needs to be renewed constantly. In every conversation, every decision, every small action of the day. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. It's like your new identity begins to settle in, and then reality shifts. One secret here is to listen to your body. It always knows when something is out of alignment. A heaviness in the chest, discomfort, sudden fatigue. All of that is your energetic field saying, hey, this isn't the place. Learning to read these signals is essential to raising your vibration and keeping coherence between what you feel, think, and do. Another key point is silence. That's where your vibrational frequency recalibrates. The world is too noisy. Sometimes you need to pause, close your eyes, and just breathe. Feel. Listen to what life wants to tell you. And sometimes what it wants to show you is exactly the version of yourself you've been avoiding, the one who already lives with depth. The most liberating part? When you begin to live with presence and authenticity, you attract abundance in a completely new way. Not the forced kind, full of strain, but the abundance that comes from a place of worthiness, surrender, and the balance of letting go and receiving. From trusting the universe lightly, without trying to control everything. Little by little, you become a new person, not because you forced it, but because you stopped resisting who you already were. The identity shift happens gently. It's like taking off layers of clothing that never really fit. What's left is a truer you, far more powerful in collapsing the reality you want to live. Living this way also connects you with others who are choosing the same path. Your elevated vibration attracts more conscious connections. And then your energetic field expands. An invisible network of support, synchronicities, and meaningful encounters begins to form. Reality becomes more alive, more fluid, more yours. This choice to live with depth also changes how you see challenges. They stop being enemies and become teachers. Every difficulty becomes a doorway into deeper levels of yourself. And the deeper you go, the more aware you become of your own strength. That gives you an inner confidence no one can take away. And so, without rushing, you begin to realize that this choice, to live with presence, depth, and authenticity, is the most direct path to something many seek but few find: inner peace. And that peace isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new way of living, where the outer world faithfully reflects the inner one. Tell me, how much longer will you keep following that invisible programming that isn't even yours? Are you ready to stop negotiating with what the world expects and finally live in alignment with your essence? This is the decision that changes everything, an active choice to live with depth, presence, and authenticity, rather than just reacting on autopilot. When you start consciously choosing every thought, emotion, and action, you tune into the frequency of quantum manifestation. Reality stops being a battle and becomes a reflection of the state of being you sustain. It's within this energetic alignment that identity shift happens, and with it, the doors open to a new life. So here's my invitation. If this content awakens something in you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This isn't just about watching more videos. It's about keeping alive the high vibration you're starting to build here. Together, we can keep exploring how to collapse realities that align with the true essence of who you are.